Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Lee Grant. Welcome back to another video. And now what I'm going to try to do in this weekend is get this project to work. That is my goal for this weekend. Get it to work. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I want to be able to access a front end. I want to be able to come in here and go to my browser, be able to type in information and be able to have that information go from my front end microservice, be routed where it needs to go, either the producer or consumer microservice, and then those will be able to interact with the database. So I want this entire chain to be able to work. Now, recently, for the past, I don't know which video this is, number 15 or 16, for the past 16 videos, I've been trying to work on this to just get it to proving out the functionality of each section that like, okay, well, it kind of works. Okay, cool, we can move on, right? But now we have the functionality of almost everything. I was able to get all of those different microservices operational. Like they were able to talk to the database. So operational, talk to the database, register with the Eureka server, communicate with each other over the Eureka server, all of that. So I have all of those individual pieces. Now it's time for me to actually build those pieces, and then we can put them all together. And so that putting together, the building and putting together is what I'm hoping to get done by this weekend. It's Saturday right now, but so I have 2 days. All right, let's go. So I guess the first thing is I'm gonna start coming into, and I'm gonna close all these out. Okay, so what I want to do right now is think about, okay, well, what do I need to do to actually get it working, right? Like, what does working mean? Well, okay, so the producer microservice is going to have to interact with the database. We already got it to, we've proven that it can interact with the database. Now we just need to make sure that our producer microservice actually has those endpoints and that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. The other thing that I'm thinking about is just as I was explaining that, like whatever, 3 seconds ago, I was thinking, well, would actually unit tests be a really good way of proving out this functionality as well? So maybe we can throw in that as well. But first, let's kind of explore around in the code here and try to refresh ourselves about what this producer resource has and what's available to us. So, all right, we have connection to the supply database. Okay, that's the MongoDB database. Awesome. And we're able to find all of the items. We're able to add an item. Okay, so this is what we want. Okay, so we're going to be looking for post mapping and then add item. So I need to prove out that functionality. Hello controller, this is just a test. Hello from Spring Boot, and that's what you see here. I was just testing that we can actually communicate between the microservices. But so this one's not really important. Okay. So I'm just saving it. Do I need to do any kind of like verification that the object is legitimate? Like, before just saving this object into the database, do I need to parse it? I know that it works because I tried it in the past, and I know that, okay, so I have my model, which is supply here, and this has those this sets up kind of the schema for the MongoDB database, right? So I have my primary key, which is ID. I have my name and quantity. And then I have getters and setters and the constructor. Okay. Add supply. Okay. Because I think that works. Let me go here. I now have basic routes for my microservices. I want to know how I might be able to apply unit tests like JUnit or other testing methodologies to verify functionality. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe what we try to do right now is do a JUnit for this specific add supply. And this is kind of what I mean by I'm doing things very piecewise. So actually I realized maybe we need one more piece and I'm going to put the piece here and then we build it out to the other ones. Okay, so fantastic. Okay, testing in Java Spring Boot. Okay, unit testing with JUnit and Mockito. Use this test, or use this to test individual components like controllers, services, and repositories. Awesome. So I want web, MVC, model view controller test, and then of this class, okay? Where is this? I saw something here that has test, okay? Integration testing. So integration testing will be later, not right now. Because I said that I wanted to just test. Oh, where'd it go? I said that I just wanted to test this right here, right? So that means that is a unit test. Okay. So now, testing in Express, I use Jest or Mocha. Okay. Integration testing with Supertest. Okay. For the JUnit test, how and where should I put that file? I'm guessing it needs to be in like test here, but do I need to download things? That's the other thing. Okay. Microservice. My main application is, come on. Oh, where to go? Here we go. I was trying to expand this out a little bit. Is producer resource like this, and then I have my main application, which is this one, I believe. Yeah, and this should be the entry point. Yep. Okay. Okay. Then my test should go in the same place. So if you have a controller like this, REST controller. Test would go. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is my main entry point. Okay. And I have my controller in, I'll give it the path. In this location. Okay. Okay, so you're well on your way since the controller is in here and your main class is in here. Yep, so I separated them. Your test should follow the same package structure inside the source test Java directory. Okay. So create a file at source test Java example Timothy producer controller and then supply controller test Java. Okay. So controller here, now it wants me to create a file with a very long name. Okay. Under controller, it wants supply controller test .java. Okay. All right. Are we good? Yeah, should be. So now test code example. Assume your controller looks like this. So it is talking about supply controller. So I have my repository, which I use a constructor injection method. Okay, so that's the same thing here. And then I have that, yep. So now my test should look like this. Should we go through it kind of line by line and this one, okay. So let's kind of go through this line by line to figure out what's going on. So public class supply controller test, which is right here, okay? So that's the same thing. Now, what I want to do is I want to auto-wired, okay? And what do I want to auto-wire? I want to create a mock MVC. So private mock MVC, okay? MVC. So it doesn't like that. I'm guessing I need to import some things. Ah, I see. I need on top of my class here, I need to do this. Web MVC test supply controller test. Oh no. Supply controller dot class. And do I need to, I'm guessing that means that I need to import the supply controller. and it doesn't like this. So I think I need to go into my Palm and update things. Hold on. So let's go in there and update this. Okay. Spring Boot. Yeah, it looks like I don't have that one, right? Spring Boot starter test right there. So, do have it. Do I need to import something? I don't have this one, but I don't see why this one would cause that to have an error. Okay. Whatever, I can just put that in there anyways. Okay. Sure. Now, I'm gonna come in here and just it does not like this line. Are my imports all there? Okay. So, here's a full list of imports you should have in my test file. Oh my gosh. Is that real? Like all of them? Okay. Auto wired, I already have that one. Okay. I'm just gonna copy and paste that in. Okay, so it doesn't like a lot of these things. It's fine. So I don't think I have JUnit. I don't have Mockito. I should have this one. I should have this one. Can I just... Okay. Let's continue with this and assume that it actually worked. Like, that we have these things, okay? And then we'll figure it out later. So we're creating some kind of mock thing, okay? And then, what do I want to do? I'm creating a mock bean now, okay? So, mock bean. All right. Private to this class, supply repository. So it's going to be of type class, supply repository. So this is the database connection, right? Wait, no. Repository. Supply repository. What did I call it? It's just supply. This is not supply repository. That one was the one that I extended that does the CRUD operations, right? yeah, supply repository here. So I'm getting this interface that operates on the supply database. Okay, fine. Okay. So now I want to create an actual test. So test here, public void test add supply, okay? And then throws exception, okay? And it doesn't, oh, it took exception. Okay, cool. So supply, so we're creating a new supply object, okay? And accessing the constructor, and then what do? We want to add apples, so we're adding apples, okay? And we're gonna add a quantity of 100. I'm actually surprised that it knew that there was a name and a quantity associated, because did I put that context into Copilot? How did it know? Okay, that's actually kind of impressive. So now what I want to do is when repository, I didn't know when was a keyword, very interesting, dot save, okay, any, oh my goodness, there's a lot of good information here, because I don't know about when, I don't know about any, okay, this is going to be fun to kind of dig into and actually absorb this information once. First, prove its functionality. Once we get that, then we can dig into it a little bit more. But this is going to be pretty cool to go in and try to understand what's going on, how's this operating. So any, and then supply dot class, the 3 echoes, then return supply. Okay. Okay, it does not like this any though. Fine, it doesn't matter. We're gonna fix this stuff later. We're just assuming that it works and trying to get an idea of what's happening. So when this occurs, once it occurs, then we do this. So it's kind of like an asynchronous function. So it's like async await, I think. I think that's what's going on. Then return supply. Okay. So now, what do? Mock MVC dot perform a post. So we post to API supply, okay. Come in here, and now dot content type media type dot application, all capitalization, underscore JSON, okay. content is going to be this, this. I'm just gonna copy and paste this because I don't want to mess anything up. You actually go right there. That. Okay. And except, okay. And expect. So we're expecting status is going to be okay. If it's not, then we have a problem. Dot and expect JSON path okay. $sign dot name dot value is apples. Okay, so we're just saying like, hey, we actually put in apples here. And then I'm guessing we're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm not gonna look, I'm trying not to look. Okay, I'm guessing what we're gonna do is something like this. So dot and expect, and then can you get out of there? JSON path okay. Can you $sign dot quantity dot value like this is equal to 100. Okay, kind of like that. Yep. So now I have this one that's kind of floating there. Did I mess something up? Is this... Where does this one start and stop? Okay, so it performs this action there. Okay, I see. And then we have that. Okay. So now let's go and say it does not like all of these things. It does not like my imports for JUnit Mockito. Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's do that, and I'm guessing it just needs to be some kind of like POM file adding. Spring starter test, okay. So I'm in producer, and I'm just gonna do this. See if that actually solves anything. No. Compilation failure. Okay. Add Spring Boot test dependencies. There. Okay. Well, this is the one that I just did, right? Like, this is to my palm. Okay. And then this is literally the one that I just did. And it's gonna fail again, right? Yeah. Verify. No, they don't work, actually. Okay. Test a class in the wrong directory. Source test. Oh, wait, hold on. This is test right there. What? So I have to come here? Producer resource controller. Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here, and then I need to create controller, right? This. Can I just move it? Okay. Oh, oh, look, they aren't. Oh, oh. Okay, okay. What if I do this? Okay, okay, okay. Well, we still got some errors, but we got further along. Test failures. Oh, well, yeah, that's fine. That's whatever. We don't even have anything running, right? Test run. So this just means that we got a failure. Okay, first question is, I moved my supply controller test.java into the test folder, and it seems to have cleared up those errors. why did this work? And how did I only have access to those packages from inside of that specific folder, which was labeled test. Also, the other thing is I didn't change this, right? Like, com example. Oh, okay, well, it actually doesn't even start with test. The other thing that I am noticing is that for my statement at the top of the document, I say, I'm just going to copy and paste this. But this does not even include the test or main information of the path. Okay. Do I have any more coffee? No. Okay. So, they touch on some of the most important concepts and how Java projects are structured and compiled. Okay, so why moving the test file fixed the errors? Maven's source set structure, okay? So Maven organizes my project into two source sets. I have the source main Java and source test Java, okay? And so that's why it was auto-created. This test folder structure was auto-created because when I opened it, I was like, oh, wait, hold on. It has all of that information there. That was done when I did the Spring initializer a long time ago, okay? When Maven compiles your project, it treats folders differently. So the main is for production code, test is for test code, okay? So now in your test dependencies, like this one that we included, the Spring Boot Starter test, which has JUnit, Mockito, they're marked as having a scope of only in the test. So I can't access Mockito from my main. That's what it's telling me. Nice, nice, nice. So why package declaration doesn't include main or test, which is up here. So I start at com. I don't start here. I don't do Java test. So how does it know where it's living? Okay. This means your class belongs to the package regardless of whether it's in. Okay, so it's the same it is the same package. Okay. So Maven compiles here. It treats them as part of the same package hierarchy, or just, okay. What does it mean to be part of the same package? Does this give the two files which are in the same package any special privileges? I don't know. privileges or scope or able to share information, etc. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to refresh. It keeps bouncing every single time I do this. All right, so in Java, a package is a namespace that organizes classes and interfaces. When two classes are in the same package, they share a few privileges that go beyond just being grouped together. Okay, so Java has 4 levels of access control: public, protected, default, and private. So private is only the same class. Protected means same package. Okay, public is everywhere. So if I do something like protected, did I do anything that said protected? I don't think I did, but whatever. Okay, so what's special about being in the same package? I have access to some of the protected member variables. Okay, whatever. Shared access to internal APIs. You might define helper classes or methods that are not public but still usable by other classes in the same package. This keeps your API, or this keeps your public API clean. So like internal helper, and then do something, and then I can call this method right there. Okay. You can write tests in the same package to access package private methods without making them public. Okay. So it doesn't automatically share variables. There's no inheritance, real-time linking. Okay, fine. Cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it off right here. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee, possibly relax my mind for a little bit, and then come back to it. And I want to figure out, okay, well, this failed. Let's get it to pass. That's going to be that's going to be the goal of the next video. So awesome. We were able to get JUnit and Mockito up, kind of. In the next video, we're going to get it running, right? So now it's up. Next video, we get it running. So if that is interesting, subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you along for the journey, and hope everyone is having a good day. And yeah, so I'll see you guys later. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and goodbye.